Welcome to Make Up Your Mind. I'm Amberp, makeup artist, hairstylist, and bodybuilder. I wanted to create a safe space for women to have deep conversations about life. So come hang out with me while I get ready for the day and chat about whatever is on my mind. What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of Make Up Your Mind. With the holidays upon us, I thought this is a great time to talk about boundaries. The holidays can be very exciting, you know. Yes, Rocket. Yes, can I help you? Let's try this again. So, the holidays can be a joyous, wonderful, fun time, right? But also, it can be a little bit of a sad time, traumatizing time for some people, you know. I always think about people who have lost a loved one because I understand for them the holidays can be very, very difficult because they can't spend it with their loved ones. And so if you are someone who is dealing with that, I'm thinking of you, sending you prayers and good vibes because I can't even, well, I can imagine because I wish I could go to my grandfather during the holidays, but I can't because he is no longer with us. But I understand how hard that can be. And then for others, sometimes it can just be traumatizing because of some of the folks you gotta deal with. Let's face it, sometimes it be your own people. Basically what I mean is sometimes your family can be the main ones that cause you stress. And I know a lot of people might not want to admit that, might not want to say that, but that is very true for plenty of people. So you have to understand that, first of all, with setting boundaries, once you set your boundaries in place, if the person that you have set your boundary with gets upset with you, that right there is a huge indicator that they don't respect you. If you ever have set a boundary down with a friend, family, loved one, whatever the case may be, and they get an attitude, they get mad, they get upset, that is a huge red flag. Because at the end of the day, I don't care if it's your mother, your grandfather, father, auntie, uncle, cousin, friend. If they cannot respect your boundary, that is someone that you might just need to love from a distance, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. I know, especially in the Black community, family gatherings sometimes can be a little bit tumultuous because you always have that one person that has to comment on another person's weight. I have never understood this. I think it's shitty, regardless of, it's kind of like one of those situations where it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know, if someone feels that you are quote unquote too big, then they gotta make a grand announcement about it. And it's just kind of like, what is the purpose of that? But then, you know, let's say the person gets on a fitness journey and they're losing some weight and they're feeling themselves. Then it's like, oh, well, now you're too skinny. It's just kind of like, how about you mind yourself and your own calories and leave people alone? This is one of my pet peeves. You should never, ever, ever, ever make comments about anyone's weight. And then for me, I understand that I am on the opposite side of it, where a lot of people feel that because you are not obese, that it's okay to make comments. And that is just as wrong. Like, I don't understand why we need to point out someone's physical appearance. You never know what's going on upstairs in someone's brain, right? You don't know what's going on. You don't know the struggle, the journey, whatever it is that they have going on. So for someone to just come out of their way and just make a comment about someone's appearance, especially at a family gathering, That to me is just trash. And if someone does that to you, you have every right to advocate yourself. And you can say, do not make any comments about me and my appearance. I don't care if you pull them to the side. I don't care if you say it at the family table. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, no one should be doing that. And I don't care if it's a family elder, because this is the tricky part too. I feel like, and not all elders, not all everyone in the, maybe older generation, because I never like to generalize anybody, but I have noticed that a lot of the times the older generation feels that just because they've been on the earth longer, Jesus, Lamb of God. Sometimes some people from the older generation feel that because they have been on the earth longer than us, that they can say whatever they want to say to us and we're just supposed to sit back and take it. And I got news for you. Not today. Not in 2023. Not ever. Not moving forward. And again, it is okay to say, hey, excuse me, Miss Ma'am, we are not going to make comments about me, wherever the case may be. That is okay to say, because I know for me personally, I'm a Southerner. I grew up in the South, right? And heavily prevalent in the South, it is respect your elders, which as you should. And I have heard my elders say some wild shit to people in my family. And I'm just kind of like, that is highly inappropriate. Beyond inappropriate. But because they are our elders, we're supposed to sit back and take it and just let it be. And gone are those days, because now our generation, we get therapy. We now have the language to speak and express how we feel. Whereas the prior generation, they didn't have that. And I'm not trying to, make excuses for them, but it's just a totally different mindset. So therefore, when we do speak up sometimes, they think that we're being combative or disrespectful. And let me tell you, anytime you're advocating for yourself, anytime you are standing up for yourself, that is not you being disrespectful. And if someone gets mad at you because you are standing up for yourself and you are telling them how you will or will not, or you're telling them how they will or will not treat you, and if they get upset about that, that's honestly none of your business. That's on them. That's something that they got to get sorted out themselves. Hello.
Listen.
How you doing?
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Are you off?
Not really.
Which leads me to, also, there are other family traumas. Some people sometimes have dealt with maybe verbal, physical, or sexual abuse from another family member. And I'm here to tell you, if you are someone who is dealing with any of those, and the family member that has done any of that to you is going to be there, you have every right not to show up. Because to me, it makes zero sense for you to put yourself in the line of fire. To me, that is literally setting yourself up for destruction. And again, this goes back to advocating for yourself and standing up for you. So you can decline, because at the end of the day, if something is not good for you and your mental and emotional health, you don't need to do it. I do not care if another family member gets upset, if your auntie is like, well, you just need to come on to dinner anyway. No, you do not. No, you do not. Because you have to lay down with yourself at the end of the night. And if that is going to send you into a spiral, just engaging with that human being, it is not worth it. Sit out. Have a rain check. I know for me personally, I had made mention a while ago to my mom that I just didn't, this wasn't over the holidays, but I just didn't want to see a certain person. I wasn't feeling it, just simply because I was like, every time I see this person, they always make it their mission to comment on my hair. Why you just wear your hair like that? Yeah, I just wear my hair like this. And of course, when you gonna have kids? why don't you have any kids? And I'm just kind of like, why don't you mind your own ball-headed self in your uterus? What's it to you? Why does it matter? Because for me personally, I am hyper aware of what it takes to be a mother. I am the product of a single child, so I have that point of view. And then also, my best friend is a single mom. I'm a product of a single mother, excuse me, I misspoke. And my best friend is a single mother. She has 2 children. I am their godmother. And I got a front row seat, a good taste of what it's like. And when I tell you I am in no rush, I am in no rush, because to me, being a mom is the most important job you will ever have on the face of this earth. It is around the clock. It is nonstop. And it's something that I take very seriously. So when people are like, oh, just have a child, I'm like, no, you don't just have a child just because society says so, just because a family member says so. To me, that's the wrong mindset. And the other comment that I get a lot too is, oh, well, there's never a right time. All right, work. There might not be a right time, but there damn sure is a wrong time. And right now, for me and my husband, is the wrong time. We both come from very humble beginnings, and we're just under the mindset of one thing we're not going to do. We're not about to be out here with kids struggling. We're just not. We're not doing it, just simply because of how we have grown up and things that we have experienced. So therefore, if that means we gotta wait a little bit, we gotta wait a little bit. But guess what? I ain't about to explain that to anybody who keeps coming for me in my uterus, because it's none of their business. And the issue is that society has placed on women that, oh, well, you're a woman, you're supposed to have children. Let me tell you something. You don't have to have kids if you don't want to. Hell, you don't even have to get married if you don't want to. You don't do anything that you do not feel comfortable with. Do not let anyone pressure you into doing these things just because that's the way it's been. This is the way that they have pushed women. This is what society has made women feel like they have to do, because I know plenty of women out here who have children that have no business being mothers, just simply because some people just ain't fit to have kids. And I mean that with all due respect. This just goes back to a personality thing. And then also, some people are out here with their own personal traumas from their own childhood that they never healed from. And now they are traumatizing their children just simply because they couldn't get out of their own way enough to go seek some help. And so now here we have generational curses just coming down the line. And so I just kind of have the mindset of, I know plenty of people that have children that shouldn't. Just because you're a woman doesn't mean you should have children. It's kind of the same thing. Like, I know plenty of people that are educated, and if you're listening to the pod via Apple or Spotify, you can't see me putting quotes around educated, but the reason why I put quotes around educated is because just because you have a degree, a PhD, certification, whatever the case may be, that don't mean a thing. Just for clarification, before someone tries to come for me, I am not at all discrediting education, nor would I ever do so. All I'm saying is just because someone has an education, holds a degree or certificates, that does not mean that they are an intelligent human being, because sometimes people just lack good old basic common sense. I know plenty of people that have these things and they couldn't even tell you how to tie your damn shoes. So don't let these terms and stipulations that society has placed on women make you feel like you need to go do these things, because you don't. You don't. You need to make sure that you are advocating for yourself and you are doing what you want to do because you feel it's right in your heart, not because the world or a family member, is telling you this. And then, again, if your family is old school or whatnot, they may not understand it because they just have a different mindset. And that's okay. But you also need to realize is, You don't have to explain anything to anybody. You grown. And quite frankly, it's truly none of anybody's business what you choose to do. And I think that's a narrative that we need to start changing just in regards to the family dynamic. Like, your whole family don't have to know what you are and what you are not doing, all right? And then something else too, just with all the holiday parties and whatnot, like, let's just face it, the holidays are fun, but the holidays can be exhausting, okay? And you're probably going to get invited to a lot of other parties, whether it be from your friends, your family, or whatnot. And let me tell you something. We are coming to the end of the year. And if you are tired, if you are exhausted, and you just don't have it in you to people, because let me tell you, people can take a lot out of you. People can be exhausting. If you just don't have it in you to people, to go to parties, to get dressed, guess what? You have every right not to do so. And again, all of this is going to go back to advocating for yourself. Don't do anything that you do not feel comfortable doing, because I know it's happened to me before, or a family member will try to guilt you, like, oh, well, you're not going to go see so-and-so. Nah, baby, I'm tired. I am tired. So you want me to go see so-and-so just because in your mind you think it's the right thing to do. And then I get there and I'm not in a good mood. I'm not engaging. You can tell I'm visibly not having a good time, all because you want me to show face. And here's the thing, because I have seen this too. Sometimes some parents, not all, some parents like to tote their children around at these family events like a freaking Academy Award. And one thing about me is that's a solid no. It's not even a matter of a family member trying to ride your wave. It's just a matter of you just want me here for your own benefit, not because you want me here because you want me here. You know what I mean? So those are just a couple of things that I have been mindful of, and I personally am making adjustments as far as how I go about the holidays. I'm very selective about who I will spend my time with and who I will not spend my time with, because one thing you're not about to do to me over these good old holidays, you're not about to stress me. You're just not. It's supposed to be a fun time. It's supposed to be a happy time, and it should not be stressful. But unfortunately, I know for so many people, it is stressful. So I'm going to encourage you now to go ahead and establish those boundaries. And when you establish those boundaries, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, you are going to get some pushback. But that's fine. If they gave Jesus but that's fine. Here's how I see it. If they gave Jesus pushback, they definitely are going to give you a little bit of pushback, and it's going to be all right. So I'm going to go ahead, finish up the rest of my makeup, and then we will close out today's episode. That is going to wrap up today's episode of Make Up Your Mind. If you're watching via YouTube and you found this episode helpful, please put a heart emoji in the comments. Again, advocate for yourself, set your boundaries, and if someone doesn't respect your boundaries, that is on them, and it'll also show you where you stand with them. Don't do anything or be around anyone that you do not feel comfortable doing or being around, all right? Happy holidays, stay safe, and I will talk to you in the next one. Keep it simple. Peace.